let's head on down, shall we? See what we're dealing with. You know what, that's worth an ignition just for the triple overlap on the warlord themselves, because that's going to be the big problem child of the family here. Or not, they're dead. Well, that works for me too. One fireball to finish you off. Let's not accidentally go to the wrong stairwell in our escape path. Beautiful. And let's just keep making noise, shall we? Willpower is definitely the right play here, I believe. And I'll keep blasting these buddies one at a time, I guess. As much as I would prefer the ignition route. I mean, we'll take whatever is given to us. Let's not accidentally go down a trapdoor. And instead, let's head here. It's an orc immediately kills themselves. Okay, what's going on, game? Eventually we'll get to those stairs. There we go. Just took a few tries is all. I guess Fireball... I mean, Fireball is in many ways a stepping stone towards ignition, so we're still kind of achieving our dreams, but I would prefer we got some more crowds here, if at all possible. Careful what you wish for and all of that, of course, built into that statement, because who's to say how it's all gonna turn out in the next few moments. Get that hair out of my face, though, and probably just kill you with mace. Not too shabby. Huh. Is this like a Narnia type thing going on here, and I just don't have the child whimsy required to make my way through the portal? Maybe. Really the only explanation at the end of the day, but there we go. That's looking slightly better. Let's get blasting. Oh, my sorcerer friend. And another sorcerer friend. If we don't need to use magic to deal with these sons of guns, I don't think we will. That, of course, being a case where it makes a lot of sense to play it a little bit safer. Ah, and I see now all of the orc high priests are coming out to play. You kids have 55 health. Ignition is 3d19, so chances are we murder the one bottom left. Their summons are just an unfortunate side effect in terms of hastening their own death. We should still also deal decent damage to the one on top while we're at it. Orc warrior and priest both coming in hot here. 11 magic points left, and probably some more friends that will come crawling out of the woodwork immediately. So let's go with Ice Blast and save some of our magic here. We'll probably use Radiate against the Orc Warrior. And there we go. I guess Knight, sorry to remove your title from you, sir. Do we have any translocations? Just curious. Usually like to have it as a backup for Shay. We don't at the moment. Have we even found? I don't believe we have Blink, because I would very much like to at least have Blink. Potentially we'll get something like Dispersal up later in the game. Unfortunately, Discord is never an option. Actually, no, I'm always mixing those up. It's Dispersal, and there's one other, like, the level 8 translocation, maybe? I also confuse them with each other every single time, so I don't know how helpful it'd be even if it did still come to mind. I also, looking here, just noticed that Dragon Form is down to 34% failure rate. So that's real close. We found Manifold Assault. Manifold? We haven't yet. But if we have anything to say for it, that's definitely on the agenda here for the future. That's much better. If they're next to us, we feel way more comfortable dealing with them, even if orc warriors, or knights rather, are fairly scary. Radiate, definitely worth it against a high priest. And turns out we kind of had the perfect spot for making our entrance here, forcing all of our new friends to kind of come at us one at a time. Oh gosh, where are the rest of you? There we go. That's a bit better. Boomerangs we can ignore, and let's see what these shops have, shall we? Weapon, scroll, and general. So no bookshops yet, which is kind of what we were hoping to see here, but not the end of the world. I will take fear. I probably do want at least one more silence. It's slightly sketchy because if any scroll is going to get me killed as I attempt to use it, that would definitely be the one. But we'll burn that bridge when we get there. Let's drop these degeneration potions, and we can pick up these scrolls of silence. Beautiful. 2 general stores, hey? Okay, we don't have Potion of Heal Wounds on us at the moment, so I think that's probably a worthy buy, and hopefully this other shop has something a bit better. Staff of Air for conditional resistances. Book of Vapors, not quite gonna do it. Well, I guess it is what it is. We'll just have to get back on the road here. And finish off Orc relatively quickly. And let's check in on our skills, shall we? Transmutation's still coming up. I think 12 was our limit. Yeah, we set it to 12. Might have to go a bit higher and bring out the dragon form. And then hopefully we do find ourselves some translocations, because I would very much like to add that to our repertoire, especially Manifold Assault, but let's not get too greedy now. So okie dokie. Where do we wish to go? It's probably going to be vaults. Oh, it doesn't look like we ever finished exploring Lair 6, so that is actually going to be the first order of business. Let's head that way. Unless, do we want to save it? So we could potentially go back to the piety argument. We have maxed out piety, so it potentially makes more sense to go to vault somewhere where we can struggle. 28 strength, we probably wear heavy armor, and I think that is the plan. That's why we're even training armor in advance. The issue there is that I'm really juicing the heck out of this Archmagi ego. The int +3 and Archmagi is just keeping everything so quick to get castable, which I love. Like 47 intelligence and Archmagi is ridiculous as a combo. But don't you worry, Safe, that is the goal here. At some point relatively soon, we'd like to make that change. But I think I will head to vaults first. That way we can use our slouches, and we can use our steps from time as much as we desire. And of course we get the lightning buddy right away. Well, hello, you're gonna hit like a freaking truck, my friend. Let's start with an irradiate then, just to deal as much damage as we can. That would do it. Fantastic. You shouldn't be able to really mark us. 10% chance. I mean, it's not great odds against us, but definitely still possible, unfortunately. Maybe have to play slightly cautiously, because marked traps are just well and truly brutal on a Jabriato's character. There's not a whole lot of running away that one can do safely. But beautiful, even going back to just frozen ramparts to take care of those sons of guns. You love to see it. Right. Guess we have to wake people up. And now this is a crowd for ignition. Don't get me wrong, these sons of guns here, I could have sworn had some kind of fire resistance. Oh my gosh, never mind. I just feel sorry for this whole crew. Your deaths are appreciated. Thank you kindly. Well, and that's a nice influx of experience to say the least. Now let's get this son of a gun crawling our way. That is perfect. Playing this as safely as possible. Can I hit both of you? I can. This Phantasmal Warrior is definitely the problem in that situation, but apparently not so much for us today, at least. Fantastic. And rinse and repeat This is just our life now. Beautiful. Convokers, it's nice having something that can deal enough damage that we prevent these Convokers from popping off with their abilities, because that was one of the most painful parts about our Formicid run in the last section of the series. But okie dokie, you kids on the other hand should be just fine. Dealt with your kind before in our earlier misadventures last week. Spiders ain't no thing. That is wonderful. And so it continues. You know what? That's actually a good ignition crowd if I ever saw one. Beautiful. So you can start walking back towards the stairs just in case. Don't know where that preserver ended up walking, but I do know a pack of overlapping ignites when I see it. That is fantastic. Again. So wonderful. Having ignition this early in the game is pretty ridiculous. Damage output is just off the charts in so many ways. Again, should have that tiny voice in the back of my head saying, but no guarantee that it'll keep going this smoothly, so maybe let's stop talking such a big game and instead just fully focus on getting through this in one piece, shall we? I wanna do good by the great old snail in the sky. Make sure that we're putting justice onto Chabriatus' name, not causing too many issues. And there's another nice ignition crowd. Kind of just keep this swapping strategy going, let them all bunch up, and then get them taken care of in one fell swoop. That dire elephant could have gone a heck of a lot worse at the end there, but I will gladly take it. And let's potentially finish off the floor. I'm curious if I've missed any bardings. That's one of the unfortunate things about not having Snake on this run, is that Snake is always a really good source of bardings. Otherwise, there's no guarantee that we will find one at any point. So we kind of just have to keep our fingers crossed that one shows up. And that I actually notice it, because that's been a problem for us sometimes in the past. In fact, let's do a quick check here. Any bardings? Not yet, but I'm sure we'll find one eventually. That's the dream, at least. Back on the road we go. And not too shabby. Let's see, banishment, I'm guessing like a 5%? 1%. Even better. Love to see it. Well, that works for us for sure, and we'll just keep her moving, I guess, with everything going so smoothly. Definitely focus down the Convoker, and in fact, I think I'll continue to do so, even with these Sons of Guns kind of making their way towards us. That is perfect. Huanda's Spirit is restless. Yeah, we might have to do something about that. I'm trying to remember the last time we fought a ghost, because in general, my rule of thumb is don't bother. It's pretty much never worth it. But I believe with the Fling family, we made the judgment call because we had to free the spirit of our fallen brethren, so might have to pull a similar rule into effect for Huant there. Poor Huant. Just, we're trying their best in life, you know? And isn't that all we could really ask for from anyone? Okie dokie. And again, slimes are probably one of the most satisfying ignition targets, because these slimes in particular, I guess, slime creatures. Unfortunately, once you actually get to slime, you end up coming across like the rock slimes and stuff that throw a bit of a wrench into the works. It's still pretty cool, and there we go. Okay, come on, this one has the barding. I don't know, does Black Knight barding have any anti-caster effects? I feel like it might, in which case I want lightning scales? Or +1 barding. I think that works. Alternatively, what the heck is this? Could get Firestorm out of it. That would be the main contributing factor in this book. No, I think I'm happy to grab some evocable invisibility, extra dex, sure, why not, while we're building up all of our stats to ridiculous extremes thanks to Che, and resistance to fire is always in high demand. So let's take this son of a gun, and we will have to, of course, make room for it, so what the heck can I get rid of? Potentially polymorph or paralysis wands. That's up there. Enchant armor. We could use up on our protection shield if we wanted, though I am probably hoping to switch that out for a reflection branded shield at some stage. In fact, I'm curious if Donald had a fancy shield. We kind of just steamrolled over that entire interaction earlier today. But maybe something to think about. I guess brand weapon, that can go on the floor temporarily, and we can always pick it up if we do end up deciding to go down that route. But regardless, the barding, I mean, we definitely have a bit of a theme going in terms of our overall outfit. You think our character likes the color red? Because I have a sneaking suspicion that they just might, just maybe. And there's the overlap that we're looking for in life. Fantastic. Want as many of these bogarts in sight range as possible, and that way one ignition just blasts them all into the next millennium here, and we'll just keep letting reflection take care of the Actars, I guess. Doesn't seem too bad of a plan to me. It just works. And similarly, we'll probably let the same fate befall you, my friend. It's getting a little bit cruel now when we lay it out so heartlessly, but there's just something about killing an enemy with their own projectile is what I was going to say. And then, geez, okay, Cursed Skull. I see how it is. Very resistant to fire and cold. That's not great news for us. Summon undead and symbol of torment. It's all some nasty work. I guess slouch is non-typed damage. You are fast. I think I'm gonna have to go with it, and that does most of the damage. And then how do we finish you off, my friend? You're just very resistant. Let's hope the fireball gets through enough then. Fantastic. Well, that's one strategy. Not too shabby. We're also up to 18 AC. Holy moly. Hey Cyborg Elf, how's it going? I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Nice to see ya. You feel like this is why we might want Dispel Undead? Yeah, you might have a point with that. I'm hoping we don't find too many. I didn't realize you called me a dungeon crawling fiend. Hey, that too. I mean, Porque Noah's Dose. But you might have a point there, safe it. I'm hoping that we don't come up against too many of our fancy floating skull friends as we continue forward, but I guess ifs and buts and all of that. So let's hope for the best, plan for the worst, and potentially have some kind of strategy for dealing with those sons of guns if they do end up coming to be a factor. You don't have an active DCSS game? Oh, nice. How did the last ones go? I can't remember what we ended up deciding, whether it was that demon spawn one you had active or if you started a fairy. Regardless, I hope the run went well. That you're now ready for a victory lap of all things. You just started your new job at a lot higher paying than your old job and it went very well. That is awesome. Love to hear it. Always nice when things are looking up. And also congratulations, that's huge. I will hopefully be doing so at some point in the next year here as well, but on my end I just started my career job in the first place, so I'm not in any huge rush. Not too shabby. You were active on the Demon Swan run, and then you did the fair run after that. Fair run went pretty good, but still didn't win. That's all good. As long as you're having a good time, that's the important part. You did an orc run between those. Nice, nice. Hey, I do remember you saying how much of a fan you are of the orcs in B-Crawl. Okie dokie. Hello, friends. Why, hello there. We do go up to 31 AC with Ozakubu's armor, so that is pretty incredible, to say the least. Love to see it. We miscast our 3% on ignition, unfortunately. Oofs. That reminds me, check in on our skills. Armor is still slowly ticking up. Spellcasting is almost at its cap, but transmutations did hit 12, so let's see where that leaves us on Dragon Form, shall we? Down to 11 already. Holy moly. And the nice thing about Crawl is even if you don't get a win, you still increase your overall score a lot with good runs. And you definitely still learn a lot as well. That's the thing. In fact, arguably you learn a lot more from failed runs than you do from highly successful ones. If you can learn stuff and have a good time, then that's just the best of all worlds. And pretty much what I'm hoping for from everything. You're actually playing Disgaea right now? Nice. I've heard about it, but I haven't actually seen too much on my own. What kind of a game is Disgaea? And no, I don't think we'll be heading down to Crypt, at least not anytime soon. We saw how the initial escapades went against that style of enemy. On the other hand, though, do I learn Dragon Form? It's going to give us a ridiculous amount of health. AC will go down a decent chunk. I'm actually kind of curious. Can I cover my large dragon body with ice? Because then we can get decent AC in Dragon Form. For that reason alone, it feels like it shouldn't be allowed. Let's try this out. I turn into a dragon. I feel stupid. That's too bad. Okay, everything's still castable, that's good. I can cast Ozakubu's armor and go up to 27 AC with 252 health. I mean, I think I'll take that. That seems fantastic. In fact, let's train a bit more transmutations here. Although we have to send like 16. Maybe that's a little bit overkill, but basically I want to train this high enough that I can switch out of the Archmagi ego and potentially into heavy armor and still be able to turn myself into a dragon. Because it'll be nice to have that armor as a backup in case we lose Dragon Form in a terrifying situation, but otherwise, I'm happy to use that for the rest of the run. Hey Brent, the run is going fantastic, thanks. I hope that your weekend is going well, and nice to see you dropping on by. Thanks for saying hello. It's a strategy RPG with a lot of characters. You can decide how your characters, or how many characters you actually use. You can use up to 10 at a time in any battle, or up to 99 total. Oh, interesting. Yeah, turn into a dragon seems good, to be honest. Yeah, you know, not many better ways to take care of your problems in life than just immediately changing form into a large serpentine beast of destruction. In fact, speaking of which, do I dare? 11% chance it should work out, and it does. Start by taking a slash at this Convoker and dealing a lot of damage. I have no unarmed training, and that's how hard I can hit already. I honestly feel kind of sorry for the rest of the dungeon here. Holy moly. Well, there's been a change of plans here, my friends. Spellcasting is about to hit. Let's bring unarmed combat into the fray as well while we're at it. Beautiful. And I'm glad you're having a nice weekend, Brent. Hey, Eggman as well. But decide where you found that around 4 to 12 characters they use ideal, any more than 12 and they just don't level up fast enough. Makes sense for sure, because I'm guessing then that the experience is shared amongst all of your characters. But cool. Would you recommend it for everyone, or is it just something that you kind of found your way into and have been enjoying? Because might need to check it out at some point. Though I will say my ability to play new games is a little bit limited right now, just because I'm very, very excited to play some Cult of the Lamb. That's the one that's on my radar right now. I've been holding off because I think that's what's going to become my new Wednesday stream. And I've just been hearing little tidbits from my partner, and she's been doing her best not to spoil anything as well, but I did play the demo, and that seems very much my style of game. It's kind of Hades mixed with some, like, base building simulator. Necrol, you second this guy though? This guy is fire? Okay, so definitely might have to at least take a peek at it. Again, I don't know if it's making the list anytime super soon, but that sounds like a ringing endorsement to say the least. My gosh. Yeah, who needs Manifold Assault, I guess? Instead we can just use our big old dragon claws the old-fashioned way, and that kind of works too. And there we go. As soon as everyone steps next to each other, that's when we bring out the big guns, and that is wonderful. I guess just once more into the breach, shall we, kiddos? I wonder how slow I am at moving when I turn myself into a dragon. Probably similar, still like the 2.8. Let's pay attention. Oh, I move at 2.0. I'm actually faster as a dragon. Oh, right, because Naga are slow. That makes sense. But that's interesting. So we'll gain slightly less piety, but it's definitely safer. Fire, how about star? I mean star. I'm guessing that's a killer disguise joke. I'll just laugh and nod along, pretend that I'm in on it, like I have the horrible habit of doing with anything I don't understand. Now you, friend, as we've mentioned in the past, are a problem. Yeah. And we also have vulnerability to Cult, which is something that we'll have to deal with in the future. I guess we lose our resistance scarf when we turn dragon, so that is definitely a crucial bit of information. Star strong against all? Yeah. Makes sense. That fits the bill. Well, I guess one option here is to see what it takes to paralyze you, and then just walk up and kill you. Cool. Well, that works out for me, folks. Not too shabby. I think we'll continue going. We have a protection from cold ring, at least. If we need to swap into that, if we come across some of the frost hearts, frostbound. It's always some combination of like heart bound, warden, guard, all those types of things when you're in vaults. Definitely go dragon form against you though, my friend. Soften you up with a couple of fireballs, and then we'll probably just let things shake out as they will, because that just works, folks. And now that, my friends, qualifies for an ignition though. Fantastic. And then we'll save the rest of our magic. Ooh, I kinda hate that you have a ranged weapon. That throws most of my plans directly into the trash, so you might actually have to get some fireballs sent your way. Or just a bunch of wands, that works too. And fantastic. Well, let's just leave before those sons of guns kick us off of our stairs, and beautiful.